Potential job. We'll see about that. Greetings everyone. If you're new here, I'm CroFenix Knight. We are back at Star Wars Knights of the Republic. In today's episode, before we go for Manaan, we're gonna make a quick stop to Yavin Space Station and to do one side quest for our companion mission regarding her brother on Tatooine. So, thank you again for everything, thank you for the support, and let's do this.
Calo Nord is dead, Lord Malak. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Calo's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malak?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend.
Show off.
Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
Let's visit our old friend.
The color of her mesh under the sky.
Chaskrunki to patslimo, chi itakanki channa kilikon. Kimba muli radwanaji, kimba no kunikset abog.
Los Everest en la list. Er kan de kosten ervoor en daar is de regisseur. Stoffen achter meer.
Achua pengti, yun patisa. Di juba ji kunka naga, kimbu mwa muli radwana. Kimba nikcha lora kun. Tong itwama ji human ak in ikatune. Chon muli ra tong pa akat in tutune. Chino muli ra ni bubo tong kimba no kuneksag. Da hupa da tenya ji juju piti.
Los Everest en la list. Es Griff.
Tava! Yun patisa! Chiwa aita kang ki jiyokaku!
The color of her mesh under the sky. Es Griff.
Yeah, get out of here.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chuna muri ra. Tangi wama jiko na. Tongki pa nonku nek abog ki muli ra kun king. Tong hitwama ag iinko tune, chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo, kun muli ras limo poiwangak tong itwamaji human act in ikatune.
Alright, let's see what you got. I might as well sell some things.
Ki muli ra kun king. Tong hitwama Ichuta yun patisa king panik chalora kun tong itwamaji human act in ikatune. Chon muli ra tong pa akat in tutune. Chino muli ra ni bubo tong king ba no kun neksag. Da hupa da tenya ji juju piti. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chuna muli ra tong itwamaji kona. Tong kipa non kun nek abog ki muli ra kun king. Tong hitwama ag inko tune. Achua pengki yun patisa di juba ji kun tong hitwama ag inko tune por tong hitwama ji aki inko tun tong panokun nonek chiwi aita ka chong chicha agi inko tune chuna muli ra tong hitwama ji kona tong kipa nonku nek abog jiska dosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki smack toma kuyami jusku chitanai uchua penki topa na ota vokasa yubabato kanchi yatuka ulan ki muli ra kun king tong hitwama ag inko tune.
Thank you for question. Alright, that will be all.
Kakincha nawabagaon bagwa shank kontimachit
My pleasure. I'll be back here. In the meantime, don't die. And thank you for the items. Let's go to the Tatooine. We have arrived at Tatooine. Mission? Let's save your brother. Hello.
Greetings again from the offices of Zerga Corporation. Is this about bounties or something else? Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Zerga Corporation payroll. Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. He hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Zerga Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it. We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him. He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Zerga Corporation of liability in these circumstances. Zerga Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers. We didn't find his body, so we have to assume he was taken prisoner. Whether he's still alive, I couldn't say. That's all I can tell you. I shouldn't even have said this much. This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As I said, all employees have signed waivers absolving Zerga Corporation of any financial liability if this occurs. It is the industry standard. I suppose you could apply for special dispensation from the Zerga Corporation representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please. Farewell. Zerga Corporation welcomes your future inquiries.
Sand People, we shall meet again. Here we are at the Sand People Enclave, or Tuscan Raiders Enclave. I don't know. Hi, Griff.
You there. I'm a high-ranking executive at the Zerka Corporation. There's a big reward if you take me back to Anchorhead.
Griff, don't you recognize me? It's Mission.
Mission? Is it really you? I heard Taurus was destroyed. I thought you were dead. Oh, joy of joys, my little sister is alive.
I have to ask you something, Griff. It's important. I ran into Lena. She said it was your idea to leave me on Terrace. It isn't true, is it?
Well, there's the truth and then there's the truth, you know. I always meant to go back to Taurus, sis, just as soon as I had the credits to pay off my debts. But credits have been hard to come by.
You mean it's true? It was your idea to leave me there? I'm your sister. How could you abandon me like that?
Come on, sis. You didn't need me to look after you anymore. You may have been young, but you knew how to take care of yourself. Besides, you're here now. I mean, everything worked out fine.
That's it? That's all you have to say to me after all these years, after deserting me on Terrace?
Well, that and, could you please get me out of here? You got a tough-looking friend there.
We'd be risking everything just to get you out. That doesn't bother you?
You can't abandon me here. These sand people, they're animals.
And you better appreciate it.
You know I do, Mission. You know I do. Honest this time.
Really? You better be right about that. HK-47, I need your help once again. Hello, Chieftain.
Query, what do you wish to ask of him, Master? Clarification. We must be more specific, Master. They capture many organics. Translation. Translation. He says that by his very presence, this Griff defiles their home and land. He is without any semblance of usefulness to them.
Yep, that would be Griff.
Extrapolation. I would assume we are free to take him. It is doubtful they will even waste the effort to kill him. Perhaps we could do it, Master.
Bye-bye.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
Hey, Griff. I have some news for you.
You're back. You've come to let old Griff out, right? Right? I don't want to beg, but I'm more than willing.
You can just keep waiting, Griff. We'll get you out of there when it suits us.
We used to be so close, sis. Now, I know we've had our differences, but I really need to get out of here now. No fooling.
Yeah, you can find your way from there, right? Can you manage that? What? Is there something else?
Well, I wanted to thank you, and, you look like you're doing well. Financially, I mean. Say, could you spare me a few credits to get back on my feet?
You're hitting me up for credits. I don't believe this. Lena was right about you, Griff. We should have just left you to the Sand People. Don't talk to me anymore. Ever.
That didn't go well. Sis was always a little too fiery for her own good. She'll cool down in time. She'll be okay. We had our fights before. Too bad, though. I really could have used a helping hand right now. You may have saved my life, but I don't have a single credit to my name. Say, you wouldn't be able to spare me some credits, just till I get back on my feet, you know?
Greedy bastard.
I guess you've been talking to Lena, too. That's okay. I'll figure out a way to get by without your credits. I always do. Besides, I've already got a job lined up for me. Krita, the manager over at the Zirkus supply shop, said I could come work for him if I ever get tired of the mines. Yeah, I think I'll go take him up on his offer. You know,
good for
maybe
you.
There's something else you can help me with. I need to talk to a guy first and set up the details, but if you're interested in a job, come see me in Grita's shop. Goodbye, Mission. I'm glad you're not dead.
Potential job. We'll see about that. Let's talk about the job.
Just the person I was hoping to see.
Save it, Griff. I'm not talking to you. I want no part of whatever you're involved in.
Okay, sis, I see you're still mad. Fair enough. I don't think you could help me with this anyway. It's more of a job for your friend here. As you may know, tack glands can be refined to a very potent powder. It's the primary ingredient in Teresian ale. That's what makes it so strong. Of course, now that Taris is pretty much wiped from the face of the map, Teresian ale has become somewhat scarce and very, very valuable. Luckily, I know the secret recipe. I know this guy. He's with the Exchange. Now, if I give him a small sample of Teresian ale, he says he can synthesize it and reproduce it in mass quantities. Problem is, I need one of those tack glands to make the first batch, and now that Taris is a smoking ruin, the only place to find tack is on Kashyyyk. If you can get your hands on one of those tack glands, I'll make it worth your while.
Griff, are you blind? Can't you see you're talking to a Jedi? We're out here trying to save the galaxy. We can't waste time on this.
Please, you have to help me. I promised this guy from the Exchange a sample of Teresian ale. If I don't come through for him, he's gonna break my legs. Or worse.
I won't torture those techs. And you have a lesson to learn.
Come on, Mission. I'm your brother. I'm family. You can't turn your back on me.
Forget it, Griff. I'm not falling for that line again. You'll have to find your own way out of this mess.
You bring me a single tack gland, and you not only save my life, but you get a piece of this great business opportunity. I mean, you can't pass this up. Think about it, and you'll see I'm right.
Hey, Mission.
Hey there. What can I do for you? I'm worried about Griff and his latest plan. I got a bad feeling about it. He doesn't know anything about brewing Teresian ale, and now he's got himself mixed up with the Exchange. Sometimes Griff can be so stupid. Part of me just wants to let him get what's coming to him. Why not? He turned his back on me. He abandoned me on Terrace, so maybe I should just leave him high and dry now. Maybe a couple broken kneecaps will do him some good. Maybe that's just the kind of jolt he needs to turn his life around. Only, what if they do something worse? They might kill him. I don't want him to die. He doesn't deserve that. But I just can't keep supporting his crazy schemes. Someone has to teach him a lesson.
I agree. Like I said, he has a lesson to learn.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not gonna change him. Griff is gonna keep on being Griff. Maybe if we get these tack glands for him, things will work out. Or maybe he'll finally see the light and turn over a new leaf. I know it's not likely, but it's all I have to hope for.
Griff, it's time that you take the responsibility for your mistakes. I'm not gonna help you with this crazy plan. Find another way to stay alive. Let's go, Mission. We have to save the galaxy. Hey, Jolee. Hey, Jolee Bindo. Do you have something to say?
Got something on your mind, dude? You got yourself a fast little ship? I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful. Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing? I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha.
Like a banta.
No, but it could be. An Anduvian salt tablet would clear that right up, you know. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was. No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall. I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring. Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand. Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you'd probably expect, though. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Yeah. Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too, or those could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing. Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you? What, are you kidding? What are the odds of that happening anyway? 1,000,000,000 to 1? You should do so well as to be sucked into the engine of some evil Sith Lord, you know. Andor was a hero. Sort of. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
Hey, Juhani.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken. I have been thinking about myself, about Quatra, and about my fall to the dark side. I keep thinking that it was my anger that drove me that far, that nearly damned me. I look inside myself now and I can still see it. I still feel it. More time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the Council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company, I will be able to free myself from it. I do not come here begging for scraps from you. I will earn my way with you. You will see just how valuable I am. How may I be of... What is it you would... I am wary of the Mandalorian. I do not trust him. I have never trusted Mandalorians. They drove my parents from KOTOR, aided the Sith, and attacked the Republic. Their warped notions of honor may provoke them to do even more heinous acts. I do not know why you tolerate his presence on your ship. In truth, he has had some merit so far, but I am not certain it is worth the risk you take. His kind may prove to be a danger to the galaxy again, but this man himself has proven acceptable so far. Merely keep your distance from him and watch him so that he does not betray us. Spoken to him? No, I could not. Mandalorians are vicious of temper and easily provoked. I would not want to tempt his wrath. I am sorry. It is just that I cannot stand to be around him for very long. I suppose I do not really dislike him. It is just... The Mandalorians came and overran my world. They slaughtered my race. I cannot forget what they have done, or forgive. I can take care of myself. But it is gratifying to know that you value me as a companion that much. This simmering anger and hatred for the Mandalores seems to have found a place in my heart, though. Sometimes I worry. That I may fall to the dark side once again. That I may threaten you, the Republic, the entire galaxy, if that time does come. And if I do, threaten our task, it is only right that you should strike me down. If I fall and endanger you and the galaxy, you must do what is right. If my death will defeat Malak, then that is what must be done. But we are becoming too morbid, too soon. We should not talk like this now. There is much yet we can do, but we shall talk later, I am sure. How may I be... Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that. In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds. KOTOR was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran. They swooped down from space, across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed. We were not members of the Republic. KOTOR was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it. My parents carried me as a baby with them and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard. My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die. Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot talk about this any longer right now.
It's okay.
How may I be... Oh. I have been thinking much about our journey, and I am grateful and honored that you have accepted me with you. I am not used to such unbiased acceptance from one who is nearly a stranger to me. We KOTOR do not make friends easily, or for long. Even on Tatooine, I remained alone. Not ostracized exactly, but separate. Yes, it was. I find it difficult to speak of those things. I do not want to live that way ever again. And here, it seems different. It is warming. I feel almost welcome. Needed. You seem to be very decisive when it is required of you. It is reassuring to know that I can count on someone like you. Yes, and that is my point. I find it difficult to explain. It is so different from what I am used to. Just thank you for accepting me.
No problem.
How may I be... Of course.
No problem. I understand. We'll talk later. Alright guys, that's about it for today's episode. In the next one we are going to visit the planet of Manaan to get our third or fourth star map, depending on how you count that. Anyway, thank you for your support. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. And I'll see you in the next video.